Hello out there to wonderful world of YouTube. It's StG.
And I'm Titus Crescent.
I'm the producer.
That's true.
We're sticking with that name, okay. I like it. Okay.
It's our fact checker.
Yeah.
Reproducer.
You know, that's even funnier. So, we're going to start a new thing. As I said, if you're watching through the YouTube video, you get to enjoy all the new stuff we're doing.
And we'll be upgrading here very soon.
Yes, we are.
Yeah, now that you guys both have jobs,
Exactly. And this isn't our job.
Oh, yeah.
This is our hobby.
Pretty much. All right, well. All right. Alrighty. Well,
Angle that's how I can actually see it.
yeah. Well, remember, get that closer to you.
Yes, because no one can hear me.
Yeah. If I'm loud enough.
Yeah, you are. I think your mic has
Yes.
something to do with it too. The mic on
My
your
mic's
headphone?
not even on, dude.
Your mic's on the other side.
It's not even on.
Well, you sound.
I've got a loud voice.
Well, yours sounds clearer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the mic, I'm just loud.
yes, you are.
All
yeah,
right.
you are.
Since
Okay.
birth.
Yeah, pretty much. All right, guys.
Little.
We're getting ready to go in 3, 2.
As some of you know it as the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit, the three in one, but many know it as the Holy Trinity. So for our third episode today, we will be talking about losing our religion. We will be discussing religions from all around in today's episode. So without further ado,
I'm StG.
and I'm Titus Crescent, and we are the Brothers Grimm.
And we're joined here with our co-creator and our
Fact checker.
and our producer and pretty much the man who makes things happen,
Financier.
my dad. Our dad.
Oh, yeah, I was about to say, he's ours, motherfucker.
Well, we got the Father, the Son, and the other dude.
Yeah. The Holy
Father,
One.
the Son, holy shit.
Pretty much.
Yeah, I'll accept that. I'll
Yeah,
take
probably
that.
when it was born, it was like, not again.
But we do have Tinkerbell in the basement, so.
Yeah.
Little.
He can fly, he can fly, he can fly.
Oh, yes.
Okay. These were actually notes written by you, so
Yes.
you know what?
Yeah.
I think you should take the lead on this.
Yeah,
Gee,
definitely.
thanks. When the guys were wanting to talk about religions of the world and our involvement with different religions,
Yeah.
I decided to look up a list of the world religions, and there's actually 5 world religions. That's different from indigenous or people who are non-religious.
And pagans.
Pagan.
Pagans,
Yeah.
that'd be non-religious.
I feel like that's just
Others,
a broad spectrum.
but
there.
world religions, we have Islam, Christianity, Judaism, Hinduism, and Buddhism. Those are the 5 major world religions.
Yep.
STG said that if he ever wanted to be in a religion, he'd be a Buddhist. If I remember
That was a
correctly.
long time ago.
Yeah.
I've learned to
It was like 2 weeks ago.
embrace my paganism. I'm very polytheistic in my mentality, and we'll delve into that later on.
I'm an isekaiist. Which means that when I die, that one day I'll be transported to another world and become the hero of that world, depending on the life that I've lived in this life.
So a bullshit artist.
Exactly.
Did you bullshit last week?
No.
Yes.
Did you try to bullshit last week?
Yes! History of the World Part 1.
It's great, great movie. B. Arthur's in it.
Everything
So that's-
is green. Piss boy, piss boy.
You look like the piss boy.
And you look like a bucket of shit.
Yeah, I've had that phrase told to me before.
Yeah, that's what happens when you quote that kind of stuff to people who know the movies.
Yeah, anyway, the world religions are broken down basically population-wise, and you may or may not agree with this, but the number one religion with 2.2 billion followers, supposedly, is Christianity.
Oh.
Number 2, no real big surprise, is Muslim with 1.6 billion. Number 3 is non-affiliated or non-religious, 1.1 billion. Hindu is number 4 at 1 billion. Buddhism is number 5 at 500 million.
I do not agree with that.
That is not the way I thought it. That depends on where you're at. Indigenous, which means local religions, like some of the American Indian religions, some of the tribal religions in other countries, is 400 million. Others is 58 million. And Judaism, surprisingly, it comes in last place with 14 million.
I think what happened with that was 1940.
Well, okay, that'd be 20 million.
Okay.
Because 6 million were eradicated by Hitler and his minions.
Oh, what a great topic, especially with what's been going on in the media.
If you're out
lately.
there, Godspeed or God's speed.
Gluten speed.
So, since we usually go the Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost, we'll have our Father talk about the religion that fascinates him and then his experience.
Well,
or do we want to reverse that?
I think he should start off with the religion he was before he got into religion.
You know what? That seems like a pretty good. Yeah.
It's always an interesting story. I mean, growing up, we've heard the story countless
Yes,
times.
Countless times.
Now remember,
So
we're
many.
gonna try and aim for an hour now.
Okay. Well, first I was Catholic, then I was Satan, then I was,
You were Satan?
well, yeah, to a lot of people. I was involved in the satanic cult for a while. And then I got saved and became a fundamental independent Baptist.
There's a difference.
And then, to be honest with you, the church that I became a Christian in was not the church that I ended up leaving.
Well, yeah, no, that's kind of a point I also wanted to make was that these are just our experiences. This isn't like world known. This is just what we've experienced with our cases in the church and whatnot. I know
And we will make sure not to be naming actual names, so
Oh, shit.
everybody's just gonna be John Smith from now on.
Okay, well, to continue, we were in Alaska, and there was this pastor up there. His name was John Smith, and I ended up realizing how screwed up my life had been by my taking control of it and being a ravenous Satanist. No, I did not sacrifice goats or children.
that's what the military's for.
That's the military's job. And it just so happened that the night before I went to this church, we had a party. And that party, there were some things that were seen that probably should not have been seen by I believe you were 4. No, you were,
5. No.
no,
Yeah, it was 4.
you were
You're right.
4. It was 1990.
Yeah, you're right.
Beginning of
That was
1990.
4.
And then I said, I kicked everybody out of my house. I had them get their clothes on, get kicked out of my house. And then the next day I took them to a church. I went myself to a church, which I'm very surprised that lightning didn't strike.
Yeah, pretty much.
But fortunately in Alaska in the middle of winter, lightning seldom strikes. But then I got gloriously and miraculously saved on March 18th, 1990.
As Tyler Perry would say, hallelujah,
Hallelujah, I passed the beer.
praise the Lord.
Now I follow a different religion.
What is the religion you follow now?
Yeah.
Soju. But then I got my family involved in that. We moved to Wisconsin. Funny enough, we found another church with another pastor named John Smith, and we're there for 6.5 years. And we came to Fort Wayne and found a
community church.
community church led by John Smith, which is strange because now it sounds like we really became Mormons. You know.
Got that lucky underwear.
Yeah.
Joseph Smith, he was a Mormon. Dum 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 dum.
I've been watching ex-Mormons watch that episode.
That's a great episode.
And you know what they say? They're not wrong.
Oh, they're not offended either. They're like, yeah, we're kind of nice.
Yeah, they are
Anyway,
nice people.
continue.
But then we left that church to go to a cultic church, or radical fundamentalism. Radical. Whereas if you were gay, you were burning in hell. If you sold drugs, if you didn't give your money to the church, you were going to hell.
Oh, yeah.
There are many ways to go to hell.
Harry Potter. Reading Harry Potter.
Reading Harry Potter will send you to hell. However, watching Wicked, if you're a member of the church's elite family, would guarantee that you stayed on your path to heaven.
They were allowed to watch Charmed.
Charmed. What did I say?
You said
We-
Wicked.
I meant Charmed.
I don't think
About
anyone.
family.
I don't think anyone in that
Well-
church was cultured enough to watch Wicked.
Yeah, I mean, literally, you mentioned musicals, and they're like, is that the one with the Jesus thing going on?
Oh, it's funny they would
Isn't
watch.
that the one with the cucumber and the tomato?
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
We love Veggie Tales.
Hey, you know what? My cheeseburger is still a top 10 favorite song of mine.
well, looking back at it now, Joseph and the Technicolor Dreamcoat was not on their band list.
it should've
But
been.
looking back at it now, I'm like, how was I able to watch this 3 times a day for a week with no problems?
Because it was a great musical by
It
Andrew
was.
Lloyd
Oh,
Webber.
Andrew-
Tim Rice and Andrew Lloyd Webber.
Yeah. With the guy who sings,
Donny Osmond.
I was gonna, let's get down to business to defeat.
You know, he had
the
hits
hun-"
before
Oh,
that.
yes, I know. I've watched quite a few of his
Yeah,
stuff.
because he's a little bit rock and roll, actually.
Yes, but she was a little bit country.
Yeah, that's exactly. He did win second place, I believe, in The Masked Singer.
Really?
Yeah, because he sang The Greatest Show.
I mean, I haven't really watched.
He
The
was
Masked
a
Singer.
great singer, a very good entertainer. He and his sister had an interesting variety show when I was a teenager. But anyway, we were talking about religion.
Yes.
Yes.
Well,
That's kind of how this show
Yes.
goes. We go off on tangents.
Are you starting to see the pattern here? You saw it with the last time, now you're seeing it this time. It's a combined
it's not the parents.
Problem.
It's not the parents. It's not the parents. Okay, it's the parents.
Yeah.
We raised them the way we raised them, to speak their mind, God forbid, to make their own life choices and deal with them. However, they deal with them by moving into my house.
Oh, you love us.
I do love you.
I think it's a mild toleration.
Well, major toleration, but I do love you.
Love you too.
He'd pick you over me at least.
Yeah, I mean, that's a given.
Well, you were the one I predicted.
Yeah, that's true.
I predicted the date of your birth because I refused to share my birthday with anybody.
Sure as hell didn't predict me starting. As I said, AJ and I are both unplanned, but yet the other one, we call him the mistake. He was the planned one.
You were because of our anniversary. We've gotten over a fight, and there was a hide-a-bed.
I was made on the yoga mat.
You were, after I went through PT up in Alaska.
Yeah, such romance.
And then, for some ungodly reason,
You decided to plan. You're like, we want
I said-
another one.
you know what would be really good to complete this House of Pain?
Another piece
Another
of shit
baby.
child.
The Father, Son, Holy Spirit, a Trinity situation here. But I mean, personal opinion.
People die in sets of 3. You know that.
Yeah.
3 is a magic number.
Yes, it is.
Great song.
3
Got covered by Blind Melon, actually.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah,
They-
Blind
they-
Melon covered it.
It was in a time when all the rock bands
When
did their version of
certain songs.
different Schoolhouse Rock songs.
just a bill. Wait, who did that one?
To be completely honest, I didn't know because all I saw was Blind Melon. I'm like, ooh, yay, gotta listen to that.
Faded Glory. I don't wanna know.
Well, no, this one, remember, Blind Melon was around until, I want to say 96. And then Shannon Hoon overdosed.
But they used their music was still being used in cinema because Without a Paddle came out in
Well, yeah,
2000 whatever, and that's when me and my friends and I got introduced to Blind Melon. Yeah, Johnny really liked that song too.
It's a great song. Yeah.
No
I enjoy
Rain.
singing it.
That's one of the problems with our family. We are like the people who say, I really want to tell you about something. Squirrel. we go off on tangents, and that's fine. See, squirrel.
Squirrel. This is Squire, in case you've not met him.
No.
I didn't name him. The Beanie Baby company named him. It makes no sense to call him a Beanie Baby, because the only thing beanie about him is his ass.
Like cotton.
And this is Reginald.
Yes.
He is my penguin. He's my squishy. Because penguins are the most classiest animals in the world, because they're the only ones with the tuxedo.
We do have merch getting worked on right now.
We do have merch that is getting worked on. Yes, we do.
Getting back to the topic.
Yes, again.
Yes, topics.
The reason that your mom and I left that place,
The community church? Or the latter?
The last
one. Gotcha.
Church of the Latter Days, was because my son came out to me, my youngest son came out to me as gay, and he thought he was, the thing that really bothered me was that he was afraid to confront me with it. Because he thought I was Mr. Uber Christian who,
Well, we were there when he came out to you.
yes.
Yeah.
Guys,
Well, I
it's
remember
graduation.
I kicked him under the seat for that one. He
Really?
was so damn nervous, but I'm like, just
Dad,
kick. And he's like,
I want to talk to you about something. Yeah. I don't know how to say it, but I'm gay. Say, yeah, I know.
See, that would have been the perfect opportunity to be like, and I fucked your mother.
Yeah. What? Well, I didn't use those words at the time.
Yeah. Well, even after you left the church, you were still kind of clinging to the, hey, no curse words.
Yeah.
Fuck that, I'm sorry. My bad.
Yeah.
It was really hard after getting out of the army to not cuss.
I just turned into Butters from South Park.
Oh, geez,
Hamburgers.
Oh, geez, guys.
You gotta remember, I went from 1990 to 2016
16.
or 17.
I think it was when...
What year was Killian born?
16.
16, so it was 2017.
Damn.
Being a church member, being
Sunday school teacher.
Sunday school teacher, bus captain,
Choir member.
I mean, I was all in.
And weren't you part of the van ministry in Alaska called the Joshua Project?
No. You were named after the Joshua tree. Don't let anybody tell you anything.
Yeah, I know that. I'm just saying, I thought you guys had a thing called the Joshua Project where you were driving around in a van picking up people.
Oh, hell, I don't
No, I
know.
remember we did. It was,
It was
kinda
just
like
a bus
ministry.
It was a bus ministry.
Yeah.
We go out in 40 below temperatures and go get the van,
Yeah.
warm it up, have a couple cups of coffee with
Whoever you were hanging out with.
Brother
back then.
Smith.
Yeah.
That was back when you had the 64-ounce mug of coffee.
Oh, God. He would fill that up to the brim, and he'd at least fill it twice.
And that's probably why I drink my coffee black.
Like your men.
Oh, yeah.
I
Like my
drink my coffee, but I will not drink it black.
That's a good one. I like that one.
We ought to make a song on that.
Yeah, honestly, it's right off of that. And we can't get sued for that because it's a parody.
Yeah.
But after my son came out to me, the church found out, not by me.
By his boyfriend.
No. I don't
Boyfriend's
think
dad.
Yeah, by his boyfriend's
His
dad.
fun buddy dad.
Yes. Well, Fun Buddy Dad is
His
probably
first
the best.
love's dad.
That's more accurate.
Yeah.
And then the pastor outed him in front of the entire fucking church. Not his job, not his business. And we left.
Well, didn't you go up to him and say that if he ever used the F slur, that you would beat his ass?
Yeah, pretty much. Maybe not those exact words.
I am talking into the mic. I don't get it.
That's funny because
Because you and Dad both sound amazing. Me, I sound like I'm in another room.
I know it's funny because Dad and I are sounding just perfectly fine.
I don't
So
get
you're
it.
seeing the microphone because he can't seem to speak loud enough. He's just
Okay, I'll talk like God.
Oh,
How
please
about
don't.
this, my child?
God doesn't talk like that.
Hey guys,
Hi.
bless you and
Everybody
bless
be nice.
you.
Everybody be nice. Everybody be friendly, calm, cool, collected.
Who wants to conjugate first?
Who wants to taste me?
Eat my body. Do it.
Drink my
Love it.
blood
Take me inside you.
Have the mayo. Oh, sorry.
with a nice Chianti and fava beans. Actually, fava beans and a nice Chianti, but still.
Yeah, I think those who are listening / watching understand what you're trying to portray.
I think the sound kind of made it easier for them too.
If you'll remember, prior to 2016, I had really short hair.
Yes, you very much did.
And now you got this lustrous locks.
That still aren't gray or silver.
Well, you're not gonna gray. You're white.
I'm gonna go
You're
white.
gonna go white,
Yeah.
just like me. I cannot go gray. I go straight to white.
Why I gotta be white?
It's because you're a ginger.
Oh yeah.
You have no soul.
I'm a Mary Ann, actually. She was.
I'm getting salt and pepper. I got white and gray in my beard and mine.
He's salt and paprika.
Yeah.
Push it.
I ain't got no red in my hair.
Yeah, Mika.
You all had auburn at one point. Yours was mostly black.
Yeah.
Yeah. I have the darker hair, the better voice.
Mika gets it on his face. I had it when I was younger, and then as I got older, it turned more brown. And I didn't realize that I had red undertones until my hair started turning white.
So, what religion did you
Yeah.
delve
Back on.
into? Or after you had left the church, what did you find yourself drawn to?
Yeah, soju. Actually, I'm still a Christian, believe it or not. I am not one who will go to church because they preach the doctrine of men, not the doctrine of Christ.
Well, even Jesus said that where two or more are gathered, there I am with thee.
Right.
Which the church is not a building. The church has never been a building. The church has always been about
Always
the
been
people.
the people. The people are the temple.
And, I don't remember Jesus being like, hey guys, give me your money so we can build this building.
In
No,
fact,
that didn't happen until after he died.
Jesus tore the shit out of the temple because of money changers.
Or the Pharisees? Yeah.
He didn't yell at the prostitute
Or the tax
or
collector.
the tax collector or those who were sick or poor. In fact, he said, the poor you will have with you always. And I'm not trying to make this a
Sermon?
no. I don't want to make this podcast a podcast on Christianity or bashing Christianity. But organized religion sucks.
Like I've always said, and I've had this conversation with so many people, if Christians just followed what Jesus taught, the world would be a better place.
Yeah.
Because Jesus didn't go out and reprimand everyone and their mom. He taught, what's the golden rule? What's the golden law? Love thy neighbor as thyself.
I was going to say the golden rule is that
He who has the
the
made
gold
rule makes the rules.
Yeah.
That's what Trump believes.
I learned that from Jafar.
But yeah, love the Lord your God with all your heart, mind, soul, and strength, and love one another as you love yourself.
Those are the two commandments.
And
that
who is
actually
thy
count.
neighbor?
Yeah, who is
Everyone.
not?
Everyone's your neighbor. The person next to you, they're your neighbor. The person you see at the supermarket is your neighbor. And I believe that if we just treated everyone with respect and understanding, the world would be a better place. But obviously, that's not going to fucking happen.
No, but there's too much hatred out there.
And there's too much money to be made.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that's why you have a rising televangelist. I'm not going to say names, Joel Osteen.
Yeah, he's a public figure. You can actually say his name.
Oh yeah, no, that's why I said his name.
Yeah.
Yeah, because fuck Joel Osteen. Love you, dude. I don't. But when I can't believe it took so much before he started letting flood victims into his church. Like, really, dude?
Well, he don't want them to muddy the carpet.
Yeah.
I mean, if you have such a big building that houses so many people, the Christian thing to do would be to let them in. Bring them in. That's what what would Jesus do? You remember 90s? Everyone was wearing those fucking bands on their arms?
WWJD.
What would Jesus do?
I think it would beat the fuck out of a lot of people.
Yeah, well, yeah.
And you know who the people would be? It wouldn't be the poor people who are trying to get away from the flood. It would be that asshole who was in the building not letting people in.
And I think he would beat the fuck out of a lot of people now today.
Just want to see him with a cat of nine tails.
I think
Hey, motherfucker! That's the Jesus I
Yeah.
thought. When I think of Jesus, I think Jesus is a thug.
And he's built too, because I mean he turned over a stone table.
I like to think
Yeah.
of my Jesus as baby Jesus with a tuxedo.
Wow, yeah.
Tuxedo shirt.
Well, you know,
Sweet baby Jesus.
I think a lot of people did not like Martin Luther King because, you know, he did go to Fidel Castro and ask for help. And obviously Fidel Castro was a communist. People say, oh, you know, Martin Luther King, that guy doesn't deserve to have a day named after him. But the guy did say that he longed for a day when man was judged not by the color of their skin, but the content of their character.
That's how I like to live my life now. I judge people by their character. If you're an
Yeah.
asshole, guess what? You're an asshole. I don't care what color your skin is. If you're an asshole, you're an asshole.
Yep.
Even if it's orange.
Yeah.
It's not that easy
being orange. You know what?
I'm going to try to find another word that rhymes with orange.
Eminem can do it.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
I saw him, porridge.
He's
It's
like,
like
you
there's a
can,
lot of words that rhyme with orange.
he's like, you can make it rhyme with orange, and because that's what he does. He blends it enough and twists it enough to make it rhyme.
Make it similar.
Yeah, and he's like, that's all you need when it comes to certain music. Well, AJ, do you want to delve into the next
Okay.
part?
What's the next one? Let's see.
You.
Me?
Yeah, yours.
My
Your
religion?
religious
Oh, I mean,
experience.
my religious
A
experience.
lot of
okay.
it's probably colored by our family.
Yeah.
Just to let you know, pretty much what he said we experienced, but we had our own personal experiences that formed us.
I mean, if we want to get down to the nitty gritty of it, you know, seeing grown ass men hitting on 14, 15, 16-year-old girls, and you know, being treated like objects instead of, you know, people, and you know, children. You know, like Jesus. What did Jesus say about the children?
Suffer the little children. Suffer the little children. That means allow the little children to come unto me.
And how did the church treat children?
Oh, not so good.
Like we were objects. Like we were just nothing but pack mules.
Some with Father McFeely Patton chats.
Oh God, don't remind me. Yeah, no, I do not have the greatest experience in religion. Oh shit, I can actually clip Joy's nails with that. I digress.
Squirrel.
Squirrel. That is why my thing is a squirrel. I am probably the most squirreliest squirrel here. But you know, when I'd ever go, I actually was trying to become a preacher once. Back when I was 14, 15, 16.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where I got to get into my public speaking a lot better. And I made a sermon called The Big Mac and the Salad. And I got mocked so bad for it. But my friend Johnny, who's also a preacher now, like to this day, he's a pastor. He loved that. He loved the message because it made sense.
John Smith.
Yeah, no, I can say Johnny. I can say Johnny. I'm not saying his last name.
Last names are the big.
If I say his last name, then yeah, there's no other person with his last name.
Yeah.
But you know, he was actually, you know, he was one of the good guys. He was one of those. He was religious. He was a Christian, but you know what? He didn't diddle kids. He didn't do anything. He didn't do anything bad against anyone. He just let people live their life and let people, you know. Hey, you know what? When he found out Mika was gay, he's like, I don't support it, but I love your brother nonetheless.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
And you
he's a
know what?
great
That's
guy.
that's what our world would be so much better saying. You know what? I don't really support it, but I love you. It's a free country. You're allowed to be who you want to be.
Well, as Patton Oswalt once said, is the homosexuality a problem because it turns you on, or is it because it makes your dick shrivel every time you think about it? Because that would be a reasonable reason.
Yeah.
He's like, but with Johnny, you know, he goes by a different name now, but he's always going to be Johnny for me. But he was one of the good guys. He was one of the good Christians, and even now
Still
to this
is.
day.
Still
Oh yeah,
is,
no,
yeah.
like he has a church. He has a congregation. He does his sermons on Sunday. Might not do it in person all the time. He'll do it in a podcast format like we do. And his wife's very supportive of him. Love them both. But he also got to that point where it's like, you know what? Jesus died for our sins for a reason. You know, so the sins that we do that the church would demonize and discriminate against, you know what? Jesus died for our sins for that reason. You know, everyone has their flaws, Everyone, every single person. Yeah. Oh no, I got tons.
These are my flaws.
I think my flaws outweigh everyone else's here.
So, what drove you from the church?
Bus.
Well, to be honest, I think the very first time that really drew me away was when I got married, and we moved right across the street from the church. And the thing is, our landlord was actually my old boss, MJ.
Ah,
Yeah, and so he's our landlord. I signed a contract with him, and we were moving. It was our day that we were moving in, and the guy who was supposed to be moving out hadn't moved out yet. So we were out there waiting for 2 hours for them to move out, and then my now ex-wife was in booty shorts and a t-shirt, and we were waiting for stuff to get moved out, and the pastor comes over and he's like, "Hey man, you need to tell your wife to get some clothes on." I'm like, "I'm sorry, sir. I'm paying money to live in this house. I don't pay money to you. I pay money to MJ. So unless MJ comes over and tells me that somehow in our contract says that my wife has to be out in a dress and or a skirt or culottes." The worst fucking thing ever made.
I don't see him ever doing something like that.
No, and he's a good guy. He's another good Christian.
He doesn't judge you by appearance.
When I got out of the army, he found me a job to help him with, and we were doing gutters and surround sound systems. But I told him, like, "Look, man, this is my house. You don't get to come into my house or come over to my house and tell me what to do." So from then on, that's kind of when I started drifting away. Like, you know what? You don't need to be telling me what to do at my own house. It's kind of like with my friend Johnny, and I'll probably bring him up, especially when it comes to religious shit. But when we were kids, I think we were like 12 years old, and he's like, "My wife's gonna be wearing culottes or a skirt to bed." I'm like, "Dude, I'm gonna tell you now.
No, she ain't.
She ain't gonna be wearing anything to bed, depending on her comfort level." Of course, it did take him about 12 years. Well, no, a little longer. When did he get married? He got married
Married about
4 or 5 years ago.
No, it's longer than that.
Really? Oh, time flies.
It was shortly after we left the church.
And well, let's just say his wife wears pants from time to time. I don't think I've ever seen her in anything other than a wedding dress and pants. So, but
I haven't seen her since they got married.
we saw him
yeah.
a couple months ago.
Last month.
Was it last
Actually,
month?
yeah, it was
Yeah.
last month.
Yeah. They came out and we hung out, and she's still cool as shit.
Yeah.
I don't think I saw her though.
Yeah, you didn't, but
Yeah,
we
she's
did.
cool. I liked her.
Yeah, no. She made the night fun, especially
Oh my
for
God.
her loner over there who wants to sit in the corner and just drink like a fucking gremlin.
Me?
Well, maybe when we're all off, invite them over for dinner.
Well, that's the plan.
Johnny ate tons of meals over here.
Johnny lived here.
One
Yes,
more
he
is
did.
not going to change.
But no. After I got out of that, I mean, I you would think that during my time when I was in the army, I would have gotten closer to God. I did not. Actually, when I got my diagnosis,
You were during the time of Obama.
well, yeah, I was. But when I got my diagnosis back in what year was that? 2012.
Sure.
2012. I got put in remission in 2013. So when I got my diagnosis in 2012, and my first thought wasn't,
No.
"Oh, God's gonna save me from
It was,
this." My
it was
thought,
2011 because I
okay,
started at Edie's in 2012.
okay, but I got put in remission in 2013 in March.
Yeah, here.
Yeah. No, I was in
Okay,
remission.
so it was 2011 because I know.
It was like 2 months before I came back home. I didn't think, "Oh, God's going to save me from this plight," because the rain falls on the just and the unjust. It didn't matter whether I was a Christian or religious at the time. It was, you know what, I'm going to live life to the fullest at this point. So I was in Seattle, a lot of raves, a lot of partying. I even got to drink with Mariners and stop a bar fight with the Mariners back in 2012.
See, that's strange because I would have thought you'd have been the one starting the bar fights.
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
That seems
well,
pretty
Or
accurate.
instigating.
when I
Instigating.
got my diagnosis, I stopped being the asshole I used to be. I
And
used
then
to be
he-
a man whore.
Then it
Totally
became a
different
crutch.
asshole.
Then it became a crutch. I can't do laundry. I've got cancer. I can't mow the lawn. I've got cancer.
I mean, I was gonna.
I
can't
can't change
flush
my
the toilet.
underwear.
I can't flush the toilet.
I got cancer.
Can you help me out with this? Nah, man.
I got cancer. I tried that shit. That didn't work for me at all.
I got kidney failure.
Yeah, it just doesn't roll.
Suck it up. Get
It
another
doesn't-
one.
It doesn't.
Yeah, you can get another one.
Doesn't roll off the tongue. It's not like I got kidney failure. Shut
They-
the
they
fuck
just-
up.
They just added to you.
Yeah,
They'd
yeah,
have to subtract to him.
yeah.
Well, this was 2011, 2012, where laser technology was just starting out, and the military's like, "Hey, we have this experimental surgery we can do." I've read Deadpool. Military experiments, not my thing. I'm good.
I think when you heard the term laser, you were thinking of Real Genius.
Nah, more like Star Wars.
That's a good movie.
Not gonna have
I love
anybody
that
zap me from 2,000 miles away.
I mean, if you were to ask me now, like, hey, we got this experimental surgery, I'd be like, yeah, sure, why not? What's the worst that could happen?
Yeah,
I
man.
die. I'm
No, I
30.
think of laser. I think of Honey, I Shrunk the Kids.
Yeah.
That's another good
We
movie.
shrink the cancer in your body down. You can't afford to go any shorter.
I shrunk it myself. Well, I didn't shrink it myself. Someone helped me, but
Wow.
it shrunk. It shrunk it in.
He jumped into a freezer and it shrunk.
Yeah, it happened to anybody.
Yeah. It's just cold. I just need to warm it up, man. So, what religion
Religion.
would you say?
Actually, funny enough, so I jumped on one of those stupid religions, and it was
We
called-
already got to that. That's
No.
what you talked at the beginning.
no, stupid religion.
Are you MAGA?
No,
Oh,
no, Pastitarian.
Pastitarian. Yeah, man. We love the ravioli, man.
The flying spaghetti monster. And if you quote yourself as a pastitarian, you can wear a colander on your head for your ID.
There you go.
I didn't get that far, but I did get it changed on my dog tags.
I always wanted to join the Church of Bob.
I don't know. The Church of Elvis. I had a lot of friends who were of the Jedi and Sith Order.
Oh. I actually know people who probably would prescribe to that right now.
Actually, I have a friend now who still has Sith on his dog tags, and he was Navy, so.
I'll give a shout out already to
Squirrely.
our friend Chris. Chris, that's for you. You can join the Church of the Jedi or the Sith because I know how you like that.
Or the Church of Bob.
So what's the Church of Bob about?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm interested.
I'm not,
Is it just-
I'm not familiar
The-
with the Church of Bob.
I mean, I've heard of it.
The insignia for the Church of Bob is a 1950s guy with a pipe in his mouth,
Ah.
going like this. Not well, that'd be a Tolkien pipe. It'd be, but it was like a 1950s businessman type thing. It was sort of a makeshift parody type of church, I think.
Sounds like National Lampoon.
But it was pretty funny. It was basically along the lines of Satanism, as far as "do as thou wilt shall be the whole of the law." That was
No, I kind of do want you to go
Well,
through
the tenets of Satanism are very respectful
Oh, I
for
love
the
the
most part.
tenets of
They're just
Satan.
like they're like, hey, treat how you want to be treated.
I mean, did you see the interview with the Christian guy, the Satanist from
Yeah.
the Satanic Temple?
And
And
the guy's
he's
like-
like, "What are the tenets?" And the dude's just like, "Okay, here's
like-
the tenets." He's like, "Well, that doesn't sound that bad at all.
well,
that
really
sounds pretty good."
It's basically a matter of treating other people in a respectful manner. You treat me nice, I'm gonna treat you nice. You fuck with me, I'm gonna fuck with you.
Yeah,
Which is kind of how we were raised, in a sense.
Yeah.
You know.
to an
I mean,
extent.
we tried. I tried.
Yeah, I mean,
Papa tried to teach me better.
I mean, I also remember the nights where we sit up at night before bed. You would go through that pamphlet and
The Bible verses.
yeah, the Bible verses,
Yeah.
and we could do whatever we wanted during that time. But you'd ask us questions, and if we couldn't answer the questions at the end of the night, we couldn't have our Calvin and Hobbes or Far Side or the Wizard of Oz
couldn't
comic book.
have. What are you talking about?
You would be able to answer
I
the
would-
questions easily.
Yeah.
Not me. I'm too squirrely for that.
Basically, it was a little Bible study, and I'd go over passages of the Bible, and they'd do whatever they were going to do. And then when I asked the question, Sean would answer, and AJ go, "Yup,
Nope.
yup. That's what
Yup.
he said. I believe it."
When,
Yup.
when it came to church questions, I was like Hermione. I'm like,
AJ idolized his brother,
yeah.
and then he grew to hate him for a while.
For like
Yeah.
5 years, 6 years, maybe.
Yeah.
Probably, I think.
Middle school and high school.
That's because he hated you.
But
I was about to say, I'm like, wait a minute.
I think that's
Dude,
what.
I'm approaching adulthood. Leave me the fuck alone.
I mean, I still idolized him because in 6th grade I had him dye my hair red, and then I got in trouble at school.
Yeah.
Like, you can't have dyed hair, sir. I'm like,
Why
my
not?
brother.
Your wife does.
No, I remember Crazy Hair Day. And Mom would say, okay, you need to make his hair crazy. I'm like, Mom, you don't know how hard that is.
You guys had such short hair, though.
But I had the thing is, I had short hair, but I had
With the
crazy. I already had crazy
You had
hair
the cowlick,
already.
Yeah.
I had to train my hair, and now who takes care of everyone's hair in this house?
I'm fine with that. You know what? It's payback for me.
I've cut your hair. I cut your hair. I
You
cut
did?
Mika's hair. The
You
only
did?
person's hair I've not cut is Mom's and Mika's boyfriend.
That's perfectly fine.
And yet I still have to go to Great Clips to get my hair cut.
Yep.
You want me to cut your hair?
No, I love you.
It'd be a headlock and a bowl cut.
Come on,
son.
Get you to look like that guy from Edawon class.
That's like no, you wouldn't. It wouldn't be that good.
Park
Seo-joon.
Park Seo-joon.
He says that because
flashback.
I'm a big fan of K-dramas.
Well, we've been watching K-dramas.
We have.
now.
We've been watching, and you've kept to your word so far.
I've been held
And you
against
like
my
it
will,
too,
but
though.
I
do,
tolerate
do.
it.
But the thing is, we had okay. So those who are listening and watching, we had a trade-off. I had him watch an anime because this man
I've never seen one.
never seen an anime. I got him to watch Solo Leveling. And what do you think
Very
about
good.
that?
It was very
It was
good.
very good. And I think the next one I want you to watch. I mean, we can do the live action one, but I think the anime would probably portray better. Would be Ochinoko.
Ochinoko.
Ochinoko. It's Japanese, not Korean. Sorry. There's only so many Korean animes right
Yeah,
now,
that's
which is
true.
God of High School, Tower of God, Solo Leveling. Which anyone who's not watched it, fucking go watch it.
Well,
It's
one I
fucking
started
amazing.
watching Hero
Weak Hero.
Week Hero.
No, I mean it was
Season
a
one.
manhwa. It was a
It's
manhwa,
very good.
but it's done live action.
I've only seen 2 episodes so far, but I'm very intrigued.
I mean, the manhwa is amazing.
Which reminds me, you still haven't seen All of Us Are Dead, the rest of
we
it.
still, yeah.
But we've got to get through.
Is that going to be number 2 or is that?
No, because
That's separate.
that's separate because you already started. And you're like eight episodes invested, and you got a second season coming up.
Yeah, but I made 9 episodes invested in Edawon class now too.
Anyway,
Yeah. What's the Korean religion right now?
mainly it's Buddhism or Catholicism or Christianity.
Well, I mean,
So it's a multiple choice.
well, watching.
They don't have a national religion
Well,
per
it's neither
se.
does America, but
Well, watching anime and manhwas adapted into animes, or even just reading the manhwas and mangas, they really enjoy the Christian theocracy. They love using the angels and demons that we have. They love, you know, the archangels.
Yeah, their series are so awesome when it comes to what was the Divine Fury.
Yes.
Very
That-
heavily
that was
into
a good-
Catholicism. That was a very good movie. If you ever get a chance to see it, it stars Park Seo-joon, which
It gave me vibes of Jujutsu Kaisen, in a sense. I know you don't. I know neither of you guys know what that is, but it has to do about demons. and
I've
all that
heard
stuff.
of jujitsu, and I thought I drank Kaizen once.
all I can think of is, wow, we're talking about religion and we went into K-drama.
I mean, it's still.
No, but he
we're-
asked
We're
what
on that.
religion-
No,
category
there
now.
was cause and
Because
effect for it.
different
so.
areas do have a different preponderance of religion. And one of the things about religion is you notice the one that seems to actually have affected more religions than any other is the one that has the fewest followers.
Judaism.
Judaism. It only has 14 million followers of Judaism. Now, I'm not exactly sure when this was taken or done, but you figure 14 million followers of Judaism, and the next highest one, or the highest one,
Juan?
is Christianity with 2.2 billion, Muslim, which is many tenets of the Old Testament,
Yeah.
is
It's just-
1.6 billion.
But isn't Judaism and Muslim basically they follow the same, almost the same?
They follow the
books?
same tenets, but
you
what
got
they
the
do is
Torah.
they separate from
They both
Abraham.
deal with Abraham. Abraham was cool.
Yeah. Well,
One deals
Abraham,
with Isaac and one deals with
Ishmael.
Ishmael.
Ishmael was the oldest, so technically, if they went by certain rules, Ishmael should have inherited
They
things.
went to the illegitimate one.
But yeah, so yeah.
So I mean, there was a branching off, and all. If you look at this, what is 3.8 billion people plus 14 million? That's almost 4 billion people. Their religion is directly influenced by Judaism.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we say that America is a Christian nation.
But it's
What
not.
makes it a Christian nation? The only thing you can hang your hat on with that is Judaism. The Judaic law was really the basis for many of the laws that our founding fathers had.
But to be truthful, the Hammurabi Code, which is actually older than that,
Had a
is the
great
basis
deal.
for Christianity, the Judaism.
Now you guys see why we had him on. The oh, one,
What?
the cough count.
Oh yeah, shit.
23,
That was
27.
only 5.
But okay,
I
so
think 6.
what religion do you prescribe to right now? At this moment,
Me?
you.
Isekaiism.
Adderall.
Isekaiism. Okay.
Adderall.
No,
I had to
no
make sure.
Adderall. No Adderall. That's too close to one of my old addictions.
All right. So now it goes to me.
Yeah.
And,
Let's hear your religious views.
Oh yeah. Well,
Hana.
I grew up
Grunge.
Christian. Same path as my brother and my dad. I grew up in that, and I was very dedicated. I think my only thing that I was very backslidden on was, of course, music. Music was just the thing I went for all the time. When we got to the last church, I got really into music, and I started playing music, and I started playing in a rock band. I'd already graduated. I'd come back from Christian college, which is not accredited, so it didn't help me in life. Just accrued debt, which is just normal college. But I started playing in the band, but we kept it very, very secret. And then one day it was found out, and due to the leadership of Pastor John Smith,
Doug.
yeah,
Oh, yeah, we can
yeah,
call him Doug.
Doug,
If you can
Doug.
say Johnny, I can say
Yeah.
Doug.
Yeah, we can
Doug.
say Doug.
Pastor Doug, literally told my dad to kick me out. And at 20 years old,
About that.
about that, probably.
About that.
Yeah. At 20 years old, I got kicked out of the house. I was told, quit the band or leave. And I chose the band because I was following myself. I was like, no, I can't. I had to follow that dream. So I did not. And here's the sad thing. I still ended up going to church, too. I didn't go to church as often, but I still went to church.
Fucking heathen.
I know. I felt horrible because I was torn at the soul because I was like, okay, I'm a backslider, but I'm not going to hell because I got saved when I was 5. And
Makes for writing music really well.
yeah, it really does.
I'm a backslider.
But I still go to church. I got married, and we still went to church. And then we moved to Illinois, and we got into a different church.
It was a
And
nice church, though.
Yeah,
I went there with you.
it was
once.
decent. But the thing that broke us on that was the pastor said that my wife couldn't be saved because she's not acting like it. And I said, you can't judge someone's salvation. And so we just stopped going then. But then we moved back here back in 2015, and I started going again. I mean, everybody knew I was still in rock music, and I even told them straight up. And I said, I'm trying to get back to the roots of it all. And they were like, oh, we want you to be a Sunday school teacher because I do have a decent knowledge of the Bible. And I told them, I'm like, I still play rock music. I still very happily listen to rock music. I really don't feel comfortable doing this. And then they literally kind of finagled their way that I still ended up becoming a teacher. And I would sacrifice money by spending it on these kids who didn't give a rat's ass. They were there because mainly they were being babysat. Yeah. It was a free babysitting service. And I don't hold that against the kids.
I was just about to say, can't hold that against them.
No, the kids didn't do anything wrong, although there were some really fucking badass brats.
I mean,
most of those were actually children of
the
church members.
Yeah, that too. But
because they thought they could get away with anything.
But one day I just stopped and I said no more. I said I didn't want to teach Sunday school. I said this, I said that. I was like, I'm just done. And so me and my wife at the time, we stopped, and we got judged pretty harshly for doing that. And then we moved back. I've not been back to church except for a church service that my nephew sang at. And that's really all it's been. It's been for and that was a Presbyterian church too, so it was a little more lackadaisical, but
less stringent.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, one of the things that I've seen, I don't know if you guys are on Threads at all.
I am, but
but most of the time they want to talk about atheists or
even
those
agnostics.
Those who are not Christian. They don't know because they haven't read the Bible. But I think the majority of those have read the Bible. And my question right now would be, how many times have you read the Bible through from front to back?
Oh,
God. I would say, truthfully, about 5 times. Because the one that gets you is going through frickin' Leviticus, Deuteronomy, Numbers.
Oh, Numbers does get you.
Numbers.
Leviticus?
Numbers
Leviticus has some hardcore shit in it.
It does, but it gets kind of grueling. But yeah, once you get to Numbers, you're like, fuck.
I mean, Revelations, that's where it starts to get metal.
Yeah. Revelation, I would read Revelations just for the hell of it. I'm like, this is badass. I still am somewhat of a Christian as far as because I did get saved, and I know that and I've always viewed this, if my religion is right, then I'm okay. But if your religion is right, then I'm probably still okay. That's how I used to soul win. That's how I used to get them in. Because, being a Christian, in the Baptist church, you had to accept Jesus as your savior and all that fun stuff. But I would talk to people, and they're like, I'm about 75% sure. I'm like, okay, what do you believe in? Oh, I'm a Jehovah's Witness, just for example. I said, okay, let's go by that. Jehovah's Witness, they go off the 144,000 that are going to go to heaven. The rest are all just going to go to sleep. No, they don't even ask that. They just take 144,000, and that's who's going to be good for heaven. They only take that number from Revelations. That's all they take, just the number. And the rest are just going to go to sleep. And I'm like, shit. If I'm just going to go to sleep, that's cool.
I could use that.
Yeah. But I said, but if I'm right, then you're going to hell, and I'm still okay. So I still subscribe to that mentality because, Jesus even said, you may deny me, but I will not deny you.
Exactly.
So it's like, if you're an ex-Christian...
I cannot deny myself.
Yeah, he will not deny himself. So literally, if you're an ex-Christian and you're ever having that moment like, oh my God, what if there is a hell? Well, if you did get saved, you're covered by the blood of the Lamb. So I always prescribe to that. But I think now I've been more polytheistic because the church, and it's mainly the church has always brought God to be this infallible person who is so much better than you, and you have to attain to be perfect. Whereas a majority, in fact, I think all polytheistic religions, those gods were not perfect, and they knew they weren't perfect. So they literally said, hey, worship us, you'll be fine. We're not asking you to be like this or be like that. There may have been certain sects or certain tenets that they wanted you to follow. But for the most part, like Norse religion is they're like, hey, just treat people right, worship us, but we're not expecting, we're gods, but we're not perfect. And that's what I like about polytheism.
I was about to say, I have few buddies who are, pagan Norse religion.
Yeah.
And, they're like, I don't see any frost giants, so... Odin kept his word.
Hail Odin. But I
Beowulf.
always like Greek mythology and the Greek religious gods.
Greek mythology is just fun.
It's
just
just a
straight up
blast.
fun.
They pretty much just take these words and they're like, oh yeah, this is how this and this is the god.
Even though I think we watched Hercules, even though that's
Oh my god.
horrible. No, okay, so my problem with the movie Hercules.
Or, oh my gods.
Yeah. You know what my problem is with Hercules?
It's not accurate.
Not at all.
I know. It just takes
What's his
everything-
name supposed to be?
Heracles.
Heracles, because he is the son of.
Hercules is here's the thing.
Yeah.
Hercules is the Roman pronunciation.
Yes.
Heracles is the Greek pronunciation. His father was Zeus. His mother,
Was a whore.
no,
Was not Hera.
Amphitryon.
Yeah.
Amphitryon. That's who it was. And that's pretty much all it was.
And Megala was actually his second wife.
Yes,
So
who murdered?
Zeus just
murdered
him.
our because of Hera.
Yep.
Hera was jealous. Hera hated Heracles. Sorry, you say Hercules. I'm
I
thinking
mean,
like, yeah.
you can say Hercules. I'm pretty sure people will get the
Yeah,
gist,
well,
but-
we've got one listener out there who will give me shit.
You know what? I remember. Yeah.
No, but no, the best part, but Hercules, the Disney movie, is still pretty fucking awesome.
XII.
Yeah, or Danny DeVito, who's just epic in every role he ever does.
He'd be great as live action Phil.
I think that's actually the plan.
Yeah, no.
They're literally. I think they wanted to make a live action Hercules and say, yeah, we're just gonna have Danny
he's
DeVito.
got the
just voice
height.
it.
Yeah.
And he's still got the voice.
He's legally a dwarf, isn't he?
I believe legally he is.
Mom is not far from it.
Yeah,
No,
she's
no.
an inch. She's an inch away.
She's down to 4'9". So
Oh God, I think it is.
she shrivels much more.
I think it's under 4'10". 4'10" and taller, your regular height, but anything under 4'10", I believe you legally are a dwarf.
We're in the age of technology. Let's see.
Yeah. We're fact checking ourselves. We're like, okay,
Since
Google,
our fact
our new
checker's
friend.
right here. Legal size of a dwarf.
that's a porn site.
4'10".
Hey, Mom's a dwarf.
Mom's a dwarf.
Honey, you've attained dwarf status.
Does she get disability?
No.
Oh.
No, she can still reach.
Once you
things
get
off the
over
counter.
410, then I don't think it goes retroactive.
Well, I think once you reach 4'10" with assistance.
Yeah,
Like
'Cause,
shoes,
yeah. She wears shoes.
not in the past couple of years.
eventually.
But when I do take on those rare occasions that I can take her out, I don't take my wife out in public very often. But it's just the way it is.
But that's not your fault.
No,
It's all the stares. They look at him like he's a freak of nature, like he's taking this short little girl.
I mean, like,
Well, it probably used to be like short little girl.
when
but
you
now-
were
Like,
born,
is he taking his mother?
when you were born,
Because mom's hair is so white.
when you were born, the nurse said
Babies
about
having babies.
Babies having
Yeah.
babies.
Oh yes,
And our father got so pissed.
And you guys are only a year and a half apart.
a year and less than 3 months.
Yeah.
'Cause I
So
was born on Halloween. Mom was born on the 12th day of Christmas, January 6th. But I was born in 63. She was born in 65. We're a year and 2 months and 6 days apart.
And you fall in the category of boomer, and she falls in the category of Gen X.
yeah, and they're pretty much
Just
like.
barely.
Okay, boomer.
Well, here's the thing: when you get that close in age,
Do I act like a boomer
I
though?
mean, look at the shirt that he's wearing. Could you imagine Dad ever wearing a shirt like this back when we were in the church? It's
no, far from it. No.
Into the Wine, Not the Label, which is
Yeah.
from Schitt's Creek, for those of you who don't
An
know.
awesome series. If you've never streamed Schitt's Creek, it is a wonderful series.
We're not sponsored.
No.
We're not sponsored, but hey,
Not yet.
Dan Levy, if you're out there and you see this, throw some love our way. There you go.
Dan Levy's the shit though.
He's fucking hilarious.
Oh yeah,
He's the Schitt's Creek.
up the shits.
And then you have Chris Elliott, who
Chris
doesn't get
Elliott.
as much love as he used to.
Okay,
He
so
never got love.
No.
we are ending. We are getting near the hour mark. We do not want to do what we did last week,
Yeah.
where we doubled.
Chaos. Pure
Yeah.
fucking chaos.
I personally thought we should have split it up in 2 parts, but hey.
I was stubborn. It's
Yeah.
my
I mean,
fault.
You guys were able to discuss your religious background.
Yeah.
And we can
and-
always come back to this too. I mean,
Yeah.
we have so many episodes. We're planning on releasing an episode every week. Next week
We could do what's fucked up about religion.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know what episode that would fall
And I
under.
would have to say religion is what's fucked up about religion.
But I know the next episode is going to be our D&D episode.
Yep.
I don't know if you want to partake in that because I know you are OG D&D.
I'm old school. I'm old school.
I don't know nothing about these blood hunters.
I do want to see him play Baldur's Gate though.
What are these 100? Hell, I can't even see the 00. The hell you get some real dice.
That's
I
a
would imagine
D100
you
dad.
getting
The
nat
4,
ones would be
6, 8,
hilarious.
12, and 20. By God, if you use any more than that, you're doomed to hell.
Back in my day, if you got a nat 1, you know what happened?
You died.
Freaks and geeks. But we do have so many things planned ahead.
Yeah, as I said, as you'd mentioned before, we are planning to have merch. We have our Facebook page, we have our YouTube page, which you out there are seeing, and there's going to be a Patreon coming on soon, especially when we do get the merchandise. And of course, there will be special goodies for that once we figure out the technology of it all, because we're
It's
scatterbrained.
It's not that hard. I mean, I can help you with that.
Thank you.
I'm
He's our idiot savant.
I'm like Micah
Oh,
from
yeah.
Heroes.
He's like, you're like Rain Man. You're like, oh, you got a bad
Yeah,
VCR.
yeah.
Okay.
50 seconds to the end of the podcast. 50 seconds.
82.
Oh,
Good movie. Definitely good movie.
Definitely.
Good movie.
Uh-oh. Vern. VERN. Vern, my man.
it's
my
time for
man,
Wapner.
Vern.
Time for Wapner.
27. There's 3. Bob's
How
Burgers.
about now? 3?
But thank you all for those who are watching our little YouTube video. Hopefully we can make some shorts out of this. That's on the old one over there.
Yeah, I got some shorts
Stizzy.
and scissors and stuff.
Those of you who are listening, thank you for enduring the voices that are all somewhat similar but just off by an octave.
Yeah.
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 No, sorry, that's the fourth person.
Yes.
But hopefully, we'll have more fun guests, more fun pods.
Oh, we might be able to make our own fucking music for our shit. That way
Yeah.
we don't have to, listen to, silence in the background.
Yeah.
Which is the name of our band, Silence in the Background.
I used to have a band that we used to call Ride the Walrus.
Really?
Yeah, it was a band that I really wanted to have. I'm like, it would be an amazing band. It could be any style. Ride the Walrus.
Johnny and I came up with a band.
Should be Ride the Narwhal.
Ooh, that's a nice one.
Johnny, David, Jonathan, and I, we came up with a band that was influenced by System of a Down, Faded Glory, Blind Melon.
You mean
Blink
You Found the
182.
Glory?
You Found Glory. Blink 182, obviously.
Trying to figure out who the fuck Faded Glory was. I'm like, okay.
You don't know Faded Glory? Oh, after this, I'm having you listen to at least one of their songs.
You just
You
call
won't know
it Glee.
I like Glee.
I know. Up
Which
until the quarterback.
This one
episode.
introduced me to. Season 2. Umbrella.
Oh,
Umbrella Singing in the Rain was the first one, the first episode I watched with Gwyneth Paltrow.
Yeah. That was a
Which
good one.
we will have a musical episode. Not that we're gonna sing, but we will talk about musicals because I think my passion. I love musicals. I
love
Same here.
musicals,
I enjoyed
A
musicals.
couple weeks ago, I had you. Hey, let's watch this one. Let's watch
Well,
this one.
Let's see. What got you guys into musicals?
I don't know. I think it was Mom.
Fiddler on the Roof.
Fiedler,
Blasphemy.
but
Boys and Guys and Dolls.
Guys and Dolls.
Guys and Dolls is another big favorite of
I
mine.
was say before we end this, musicals. Let's end this on musicals. Sean or STG. Sorry.
You've been.
We know what the
discovered.
S means.
You've been honored. Oh, you've been honored.
Sorry, he's already called me AJ like 27 times.
Yeah, pretty much. But
What would be your favorite musical?
Oh, God.
I know, right?
that's a tough one, man.
I mean, I remember after you listened to Rent, you started writing your own musical.
Yeah, and it was horrible.
Yeah, I know. No, it was
I am
lovely. It was
not
lovely.
meant to write musicals. I would have to say Hamilton.
Really? You know
Really?
what? I've not actually watched that all the way through.
Yeah, they've got
I've heard
them.
all the music.
It's great. It's
Don't get me
really
wrong.
good. I like it. I like the style of the hip hop mixed in with musical styles.
That's why I think if you like Hamilton, you'd love.
And I would say Wicked is a close second, the original.
Oh, yeah.
So I mean,
But I mean, if you like Hamilton, I think you would really enjoy Epic the musical.
yeah.
No, not sponsored. Jorge Hernandez, who writes the musical.
So what would yours be?
Epic? Oh well, I was going to go in order.
Oh, okay, Dad. Your favorite musical?
Padre.
Damn.
Yeah. See, this is a fucking tough
Because
question.
I know a lot more musicals than you guys do.
Yeah.
I was
Yeah,
a theater
technically.
major for a year until they kicked me out for drinking too much.
You were just trying to get into the role.
I thought it was because Grandpa wouldn't pay your tuition.
Yeah, he wouldn't.
It's
But he
alright,
drank
you can,
a
you
lot,
can say
too.
I did drink a lot.
he's gone now. You can talk about him now.
I won't besmirch my dad's memory.
Oh, I love the guy.
I loved him too. I
That
came
is-
to love him. Anyway, that's a whole different
Yeah,
episode.
different. That's a whole.
That's a whole fucking.
I think that's another episode.
That's therapy.
that's probably a 3-part, hour-long episode each.
That's a therapy
Um,
section right there.
And I have to say 1776.
Oh, that's a good
I
one.
mean, it was close between that, Hair, and Jesus Christ Superstar, because those were the albums that were seminal to my youth.
1776 has Mr. Feeney,
I was about to say, for those who are listening, 1776 had Mr. Feeney, who played John Adams.
who is still alive.
And if you listen to his voice,
It has not
it's
fucking
not
changed.
It
changed.
also had Howard Da Silva.
Yes,
That too, but I mean, we're talking about
He was
Mr.
Ben Franklin.
yes. Who played an epic Ben Franklin?
He was awesome.
Great.
Oh, of course, John.
Of course. Not everyone's from
And,
Boston, John.
But Hair was like, oh my god.
In the middle of the afternoon.
Not everyone's from Boston, John. Yeah, no, Hair. I was thinking you were going to say Hair, because I remember
I
growing
was,
up the
I was
amount of times I heard.
really, I mean, those three to me are seminal. And then of course I got into other things like
Drugs.
I got into a lot of those.
The Drogas.
But I mean, there's just so many wonderful musicals, and many of them are in the past.
Yeah.
I mean, it's something. It's saying something when West Side Story is like number 7 or 8 on your list.
Yeah.
On
The
your
Wiz
jet.
is another good one.
The Wiz was great.
Oh.
Guys and Dolls, which you
Labyrinth?
mentioned.
Tahi!
Labyrinth until it comes
Labyrinth could technically be a musical.
out. But it's a musical film
Uh-huh.
as opposed to like a theatrical musical.
Well, they could make it a musical now.
Oh, they could.
I saw my
totally.
baby.
Well, they've got Titanic the musical and Spamalot.
They got Shrek the musical.
And then-
We just watched
I do like Shrek the musical. That was a good one.
Stranger Things the musical.
Yes, that was funny as hell because it was so poorly acted.
Oh. Well,
People
I
want-
mean, okay, I
I
would say
think it was almost intentionally.
I mean, it was called the
poorly
parody.
acted.
It
Yeah.
was called Stranger Things, the parody, the musical.
You know, people are gonna listen to this, and they've been listening. It's like, man, this is a serious fucking episode, man. All this religion and shit, and then all of a sudden, musicals.
Yes.
Oh,
played.
the producers.
Book of Mormon.
Oh,
The producers.
the remake.
Producers is a badass.
The remake,
one.
obviously, because the first one.
Well, the first
we
one wasn't a
considered
musical.
But with Matthew Broderick,
And Nathan
I
Lane.
think he
And
put
Nathan Lane.
Nathan
Oh my
Lane.
God, that was.
Timon.
Yeah, I can see what's happening,
What?
and they don't have a clue.
Who?
They fall in line and they fall in love, and here's the bottom line: our trio's down to 2. Yeah,
Anyway.
yeah.
So I guess it would be my turn to say
Yeah.
my favorite. Now the thing is, I have so many musicals in my head because obviously I've been on a musical kick.
Scrooge.
You know, Scrooge is a great one. I mean, we just watched that like
Yeah.
a month ago.
We're gonna have to do a fucking episode of musicals. You
Yeah.
do realize that it's literally
Let's
we've
see,
talked about it for the past.
What number is the letter M?
You talking about Avenue Q?
No, Avenue Q is a great one.
I know.
Avenue Q is an amazing one.
See,
oh
I
god,
have. There's so many fucking good musicals out
Internet is
there.
for porn.
No, it's not even that one. Everyone's
Everyone's
a little bit
racist.
racist. That
It's
is
true.
ideal because with the climate we have today, people are so fucking on edge about shit like that. You play that song, we said Book of Mormon,
Oh, that's another good one.
which
That's
is just Josh Gad is amazing, but Andrew Reynolds does just his voice is so freaking good.
I'm still waiting for
Yeah.
Josh Gad to do the remake of Gilligan's Island.
No, well, you know, hey, it could
He
happen.
bought the rights to it. He hadn't done shit with it.
I mean, you guys are probably gonna think my answer is kind of basic.
Rent?
No, across the
no.
universe.
No, don't get me wrong. I love Across the Universe. I'll watch that every day. I don't care.
All right.
Just like when Pitch Perfect came out in theaters, and I had an illegal download back when I was in the army, and that's what I would watch to go to sleep. No, Phantom of the Opera. And I don't care that the movie was so inaccurate with like every time he saw what's his name, the Irish
Gerard Butler.
Scottish Gerard Butler. Every time he saw his face,
It was different side,
It was
wasn't
different,
it? Yeah.
not different side, just different sizes. Like when he pulls off his mask, like, oh no, you would have noticed the scar with the mask on, even.
Good,
but-
good singer.
But you wouldn't
You wouldn't think of it. It's
I
like,
mean,
this is Scotland.
I had my ex-wife watch P.S. I Love You, and she got so mad because at the end, obviously, spoiler alert for those who've not watched it, he dies from cancer.
Oh, man.
Yeah, no, my ex-wife was so mad because she knows my past with
There's
my,
also Les Mis.
Les Mis is a good one.
What are you even
I
talking
like the
about?
movie.
Or Oliver.
Surprisingly, I enjoyed the movie with Hugh Jackman.
More?
Well, but Hugh Jackman is an incredible talent.
Russell Crowe,
Okay,
not as much.
No.
Okay, I think we're starting another episode.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, we're
We're
pulling the cord. We already went almost 10 minutes, but this was our father. I'm STG,
and I'm Titus Crescent.
and we are
The
the Brothers Grimm.
And Dad.
Toodles.